Good morning, everyone. I am now officially back at school. So I had a meeting that I went to yesterday all day, which was actually pretty good. It was actually a really good meeting. I got some really great ideas that I can't wait to share with all of you for next week, but I'm not going to share them right now because I'm hopefully going to do them next week. Anyways, I just got into the classroom. It is really early, and I'm just gonna kind of chit chat with you guys for a little bit because I am mama hurt. Like, my mama heart is not okay. I went yesterday to drop my son off in the morning, like I always do at his daycare, and I know I am not one of those moms that's under the delusion that my child is absolutely perfect. I understand that he can be a very difficult child sometimes. I understand that he is probably a little bit more difficult to manage with other kids around. I get this. He is a high energy. He is very opinionated. He's my child. like I know this. Like, I know all of these things. Well, he has been a little bit hard to deal with for the past few weeks. I would say pinpoint around when he started turning 3 was right when we started having some of those issues, like right before December. Well, no, not before December, like during December, and then probably like right after his birthday he got probably the worst that we've seen him. Just throwing his temper tantrums and his fits, and you know, he's just a kid. And I went and I spoke with his teacher yesterday morning, and I just asked her, I said, listen, how is he doing? And this is to all of you teachers and future teachers out there. Don't give negative upon negative upon negative upon negative. You need to spread it with some positive or something that you are trying to do to help him. Because she just gave me negative. Well, he's doing this and he's hard to manage, and he's, you know, when I'm dealing with 20 something others. And I looked at her, I said, listen, I understand. I taught kindergarten for 4 years. Like, I completely understand how hard it is to deal with a child when you are trying to teach so many other kids. And there was no, but you know, he's still, you know, a sweet kid, or, you know, there is no, here is what I'm doing that I can help him. And there was none of that. It was just negative upon negative upon negative upon negative. And it just left me very hurt, to the point where I called my husband and I'm just like, I don't want him there. I don't want my child there, because I honestly just felt like she didn't like my kid. I mean, that's how I feel. Like, when you give that many negatives and you don't have anything to say that's nice, like, I feel like you hate my child. So I talked to my husband in the morning, and then I wasn't able to call him back. He told me to call him back in the afternoon because he was trying to get my older son off to school, and I wasn't able to yesterday because we went out to lunch with some of the other new teachers from my school. And I went to go and pick him up, and I picked him up a little bit earlier because I got off at 3 o'clock. So I was like, I'm just gonna pick him up, go home. I'm not gonna go back to the school. So I go to pick him up, and my arm is starting to hurt. So I go to pick him up, and he's in his room with a different teacher that I typically don't see in his room. And maybe she's in there. Apparently she's in there in the afternoons, and I just don't see her because of the times that I go and pick him up. And she's sitting down, and I like near all the kids who are sitting at their tables, and my son has his back to me. So I go and I kind of rub his little head, and I said, hey buddy. And he looks at me just really sad, and I said, what's wrong? What happened? And typically I am one to always back the teacher up. If she says that he is doing something, I will back her up, and I will get on to him, and I will make him apologize for it, and to the point where my kid will cry in front of me. That's it. I mean, to me, it's, you have to deal with the consequences, done. But the way that she approached me and spoke to him was just not okay. So she looks at me and she goes, do you know what your kid was doing? Blaine, do you want to tell mom what your son was, what you were doing just now? And I'm like, what? Like, I'm just like, why would you start, like, in my head I'm like, why would you start talking to me like this? And then she goes on to describe about how he has taken his pretzels for snack and he started smushing them all in his lid in his cup. And the first thing I look at her and because it was, I guess the thing that got me was that she was trying to humiliate him, like, and it just was not okay. And the way that she spoke to me just was not okay. It's not the kind of conversation that you have with a parent. You sit down with the parent and just say, hey, listen, he just got in trouble right now because he was making poor choices. He decided he was going to take his pretzels and do this. But the way that she was like, he took all his pretzels and smushed them all in here. And I looked at her and I try to be as respectful as possible, you know, when I'm out. And I looked at her, I said, listen, right now, I do not appreciate the way that you are speaking to me, and I do not appreciate the way that you are speaking to my son. You need to understand that he is my baby. And then the second thing that kind of popped into my head, and I didn't say this because I was mad at that point and I just grabbed his stuff, it was about walking out of the room, was that what was she doing that he was able to do that with all of his pretzels? Why was she not watching him when he was smushing all of that in his pretzels? I just don't understand. Like, how was this not stopped sooner? How was it not taken care of? You know what I mean? Like, how do you let a situation like that, if all your kids are eating snack, what are you doing other than sitting there watching them and helping them? Like, when I was in kindergarten, I would sit down and I would watch my kids have snack. I would take out my snack and I would sit there and talk with them and have snack with them. What are you doing while my kid is smushing all his pretzels in there? So either way, now my son, and I've just like wasted probably 15 minutes of my time, but my son is now at home with my husband. We're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do. Luckily, we are in the place right now where my husband can watch my kid, or our kid, my kid. Luckily, we are in a place right now where my husband can watch our son until we figure out what we're gonna do now. So I am able to get here a little bit earlier. I did get here probably about 6:30, but then I stopped and chatted in the hallway. I really need to stop doing that. And then I've been sitting here talking to you guys, but I'm gonna try to get a couple of things done. I have a sub that I need to have to tomorrow. I have more responsive classroom training, which I'm actually really excited about going back to, because I got some really great techniques that I was excited to use in the classroom. So I'm excited about going tomorrow. But that just means that now I have to get ready for another sub. And because my partner teacher's son is going out, she has to like take a personal day for him tomorrow. We're gonna have 2 subs, so we are not gonna do switching. He's the sub that I'm gonna have in my room is going to teach all of the subjects, and then I'm gonna give her lessons for my reading and writing, and she's gonna do all of those in their room. So our kids are not gonna be switching tomorrow. They're gonna be self-contained, only because we feel like that's gonna be best with having with 2 subs and having a student teacher. It's just not fair to her too. So I need to finish writing some of those plans. I did get it started, I just didn't finish it last night because I got tired. So yes, that's pretty much my story. I'm hopefully going to be getting here earlier and leaving not as late as what I've been leaving. Ooh. Just so that I can give my husband a break from my son. But hopefully, like, with him being there by himself, he's not like too hard to handle. I don't know. Anyways, okay, so I hope you guys are enjoying your mornings or afternoons or evenings so far, whichever time that you are watching this. I'm gonna get myself to work. It has literally been non-stop all day today. It has been crazy, crazy, crazy non-stop all day today. So it is now the end of the day. I had a meeting right after school, so that I wasn't able to talk to you guys as soon as school's let out, but it is about almost 4:30. I told my husband I was gonna be home early, and I totally forgot that I had this meeting until later in the day. So now I'm not home. I need to finish putting my stuff together for my sub. I'm thinking about just coming in the morning very, very early. I'm pretty sure that I have everything that I need to have. I just have to print a couple of things out, make one anchor chart, and then I'm done. So to show you what I'm doing. Ooh, sorry. To show you what I'm doing for my sub. Here it is. This book is so good. If you have not already checked this book out, definitely do that because it's phenomenal. I gotta go through here and sort some of these papers, but the kids for writing are going to finish up with their research. They also need to finish doing that as their final piece, like final draft for their burger paragraph, and turn that in because some of them still have not done that. And then we have the Magnets book, which is what they are going to be reading whole group tomorrow. This goes with this here, and they're going to complete like an anchor chart, do a discussion board on to Schoology, and then writing is going to be pretty much that. They have some independent writing pieces, and we also have something called Study Island that the kids are going to complete. So they have an assignment on Study Island that they're going to go on and finish up. So they're creating a little snowball thing because we are making, let me see if I can find them. I may not be able to find them very easily. There they are. We're making these. I just keep forgetting to bring cardstock so that we can cut them with metaphors, similes, and we're putting these out in the hallway. So we're creating just like a little scenery, a little snow scenery. So they're going to create these using their faces, and we're putting, it has like a little math assignment to go with it, and then they have to complete some of their targets. So that stuff is in there. I just now have to go through and just make sure everything else is pretty much done. So that's kind of how my day has gone. Do you know what is the worst stinking pain ever? Freaking paper cut right there. Do you see it? Do you see my paper cut? Oh, it hurts so bad. It's the worst. I hate it. Okay, I need to do my morning message for them. And then we still had some kids who get to turn in all of the things that they were supposed to turn in. We're gonna have to figure that out because we're having some issues with it. But I'm gonna do that right now.